Hey guys, Happy New Year! I hope you guys had a great holiday season and ate lots of good stuff and hung out with all your favorite people. I apologize for not uploading hardly any holiday video tutorials like I promised, but I ended up getting super slammed with Etsy orders, which was great, so thanks to anyone who placed an order with me. But I was really nervous that I was going to be like ruining people's Christmases by not getting their gifts done on time, so I just hyper focused on that, and hopefully they all arrived. No one's complained to me yet, so I'm guessing that everyone's Christmas holiday season was okay and not ruined by me. So now I want to try to plan ahead to Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays, and not because of any obligatory gift giving. I'm not really into trying to cram myself into a restaurant when everyone in the universe is trying to eat at a restaurant, but I just really like the aesthetics of Valentine's Day. I like the decorations, I like the hearts and the pink and the red and the candy, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Probably less on gift giving and just more on like decorations. What we're going to work on today is a little heart garland. And I know that there are 80 billion heart garland patterns out there already, and I know I did not invent it, which is why I put it free on my blog, and it's been up there maybe for a year or more. But I'm doing the video tutorial now because someone recently left a message on my blog, and she's a beginner, and she's like, oh, I really want to make this, but a video tutorial would be really helpful. So it's also kind of really good timing to do a video tutorial for this, because there's actually a new magazine out on the stands called Room to Create, and it's all about inspirational craft spaces, and my craft room is included, obviously in a cleaner state than this, but it includes people's creative spaces, and there's a little Q&A about how we organize and how we set up our creative spaces, and they also asked us to include a really easy tutorial. So since I have a little heart garland in my craft room for BB, I thought that it would be a really cute, quick pattern to share with Room to Create readers. I've been told that people have found it at Target. It was not at my Target. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I've seen samples of my room's layout, and it looks like it's going to be gorgeous, so I'm excited to get a copy. I know that people have found it at CVS. I've heard that it's in Barnes & Noble, so you might just want to keep your eye out for it. And I think it's quarterly, so it should be out on the stands for a couple months, but we'll see. So let's talk about yarn a little bit. This yarn is called Uptown Worsted. It's 100% acrylic, and it's by Universal Yarn. It is very similar, if not the same, as Deborah Norville Everyday Worsted, which you can get at the big box stores. However, the Universal Uptown Worsted comes in more colors, and to me, I love pastels and candy colors, so it's worth it to me to order from Universal Yarn online, and I can pick all the yummy, delicious colors that I want. If you want slightly larger hearts, use a heavier worsted weight. This garland is made with Red Heart Super Saver. This is actually the garland that hangs above my bed. It says, "Be mine." I hate cutting out felt lettering because I think it hurts my hands. But if you're really into it, you can obviously put whole phrases from the conversation hearts on one heart, like "be mine," or "hug me," or "kiss me," or "be sweet," or "I'm yours," or whatever. But if you're like me, you can just do one letter per heart. In this tutorial, we will be using Red Heart Super Saver. I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver in Perfect Pink. I wanted a really cute mint green, so we're going to use Red Heart Classic in Mist Green, and my trusty H-hook, and you also need a little bit of white worsted weight, or just whatever color you want to use to actually string the hearts together, and I usually use white. So that's enough yammering, let's get started. We're going to work these hearts in the round, which means you need to start with a magic circle or magic ring, or you can just cheat the way I always do, which is just to chain 3 and then slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. And slip stitches, insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Round 1 is chain 2, and essentially the heart is just a circle worked in half double crochet or HDC for 3 rounds, and then in the 4th round we do some crazy stuff to form the shape of the heart. So again, round 1 is chain 2, and you're going to work 10 HDC or half double crochets into the loop you just made, into the ring you just made. And half double crochet is yarn over once, insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through all 3. I just worked 2 HDC into this ring and I need to work 8 more. After the 10th HDC, we will be joining our rounds, which means you slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. So slip stitch into the first HDC of round 1. Again, slip stitch is insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops. At round 2, we chain 2, and you're just going to work 2 HDC into each HDC from the previous round. So you're doubling the number of stitches, and at the end of this round you should have 20 HDC. So you're going to work 1 HDC and 2 HDC in the first stitch, 1 HDC, 2 HDC in the second stitch, and just repeat that. At the end of the round, you're going to join again with a slip stitch to the first HDC from the round. And round 3, chain 2, and the motif is 2 HDC in the first stitch, 1 HDC in the second stitch, and you just repeat that 10 times around for a total of 30 stitches. So 2 HDC first in the same stitch, and then 1 HDC in the following, and then again 2, and then 1, and repeat that all the way around. And at the end of the round, slip stitch to the first HDC to join. So now you just have this little circle. Round 4 is where we start to form the shape of the heart. And this is a good pattern for beginners because you're going to learn some of the taller stitches and I'll walk you through them. It can be maybe a little intimidating if you haven't done them before, but it's really good practice. We're going to start with the tallest stitch in this pattern, which is a TR or triple crochet, and in some patterns it's treble crochet, and I don't know if that's a preference thing, or I call it triple because to me it's logical because you have single crochet, double crochet, and triple crochet. So I'm just going to refer to it as triple, but if you see a pattern and it says treble, it's the same. Okay, so for triple crochet, what we're going to do is you're going to skip the first 2 stitches in this round. So you're going to skip the first 2, and we're going to work 6 TR or triple crochet into this 3rd stitch. And triple crochet is yarn over twice, insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over once and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And again, you're going to work a total of 6 TR into this 1 stitch. We're starting at the top of the heart, so you're creating that sort of top butt half, half of a butt shape on the top. In the next stitch, you're going to work 3 TR or triple crochet. Alrighty, in this next stitch, you're going to work an HTR, which is the half triple crochet. It's slightly shorter than the triple crochets you just worked. And half triple is yarn over twice, insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over once and pull through once, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. And you're going to work another HTR in the following stitch. The next stitch is just double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Double crochet is yarn over once, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. The next stitch is just 2 HDC, which you're really familiar with from working the center circle. So 2 HDC in the next stitch. And then you're going to work 1 single crochet each in the next 4 stitches.
Single crochet is insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over 1 and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2. You're going to work 4 of those evenly. And then the next stitch gets a half double crochet, HDC. The next stitch gets 2 HDC. And then the next stitch gets a double crochet, or DC, and that's the bottom point of your heart. So you can see we're halfway there. And what we're going to do for the second half is just reverse everything that we just did. So in the next stitch, it's 2 half double crochet, 2 HDC, and in the next stitch it's 1 HDC, and then you're going to work 1 single crochet each in the next 4, and then 2 half double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 1 HTR or half triple each in the following 2 stitches. And in the next stitch, you're going to work 3 triple crochets, and in the following stitch, you're going to work 6 triple crochets. And then you're going to skip 2 and then slip stitch to the first stitch. And then you just break off. You don't need to cut a super long tail, you're not sewing anything, you just need to leave enough of a tail so that you can weave all your ends in. And that's it. You might need to kind of press out, squish out the heart a little bit so it's not wrinkly and foldy. I'm going to go ahead and weave in these ends, and I'm going to make 2 more of these, and then I'll show you how to string them together. I'm going to be crocheting 3 hearts together in a garland for you guys. Obviously you can crochet more hearts than that. I just wanted to keep it kind of quick and dirty for y'all so it isn't an hour-long tutorial as per usual.
I just realized in editing my video that I wasn't explaining how to order the hearts properly, so I'm just sticking some numbers on here for a second. So let's say this is the order you want your garlands to hang, and this is the right side or the front side of your work. It's the side of the heart that was facing you as you crocheted. So you want to make sure that they're all facing the right side toward you. Put them in order and then just stack them up in order. First one on top, last one on the bottom. Because of how we're joining the pieces, if you just picked this up and started crocheting them together, they would end up in reverse order. So I used to have people stack them in the reverse order like this and just start joining them backward, so then it would end up forward. You can do it that way, or if it's easier for you to just keep them in the order that you think you want them to go in, you start with number 1 and just make sure to flip over number 1 as you join them, right? Join them from the wrong side, because then when you flip the whole thing over, they're actually all in the correct sequence. So I hope that's helpful and not like more confusing, but yeah, again, I didn't explain it correctly before, and hopefully this will help you a little bit. We'll see.
I like to create a little loop at the end of my chain to help you hang your garland somewhere, and this part obviously isn't mandatory. I just think it's a nice touch, especially if you're making a present. I think the hanging loop is kind of a nice finish. So what you want to do, this is all just chains, it's super easy. You might want to change to a G-hook. You don't have to. I might for now just because that's what's in my pattern, and I'll try to stay consistent with it. Only because I just think it looks neater if your chains are tighter, and it's kind of easier to make them more uniform. For me, with a smaller hook, again, you don't have to, but it's an option and you can experiment with that. So this is a G-hook. You're going to chain 10. And then you're just going to slip stitch back to the first chain. And that essentially creates this little loop that you can hang, you know, you can put it over a thumbtack or a hook or something like that. So now you're going to actually start creating the garlandy part of the garland. So just chain 30. And again, you can change the lengths of these chains. It's kind of personal preference, but it's this is the pattern that I would use to make my own garlands. Okay, so take your heart, and it's the back of it. This is the front, this is the back. And what you're gonna do is you find the center of the heart, and you're going to single crochet into the third triple crochet on either side of the heart. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to insert my hook here and work a single crochet. And then I'm going to chain 8. And again, you might need to adjust those 8 chains. You might need 10 or you might need 6. It just depends on how tightly you crochet. And then what you're going to do is count the third triple crochet away from the center on this side. 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet again. So for me, 8 chains works pretty well. It's not so tight and so short that it's warping the top of my heart, but it's also not so loose that it's baggy. So you just kind of want it to create a horizontal line across the top of your heart. Now you're going to continue to chain 15 in between each of your hearts. Then you get your second heart in the pile. Again, it's the back of it. And again, I'm going to work a single crochet into the third stitch from the center. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, stick my hook in there, work a single crochet, and again, I work 8 chains to go across the top. And then I count 3 triple crochets from the center again. 1, 2, 3, and I stick my hook in and work a single crochet. And see how these are coming together. 15 chains again in between the hearts. And the next heart is actually the last one. And again, count 3 triple crochets away here. Count 3 triple crochets. 1, 2, 3. Stick your hook in. Single crochet. 8 chains across the top. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And count 3 triple crochet away from the center. 1, 2, 3. Stick your hook in. Single crochet. This is my last heart. And what you're going to do is much like the beginning, you're going to chain 30 again to create a longer end for your garland. So chain 30. And if you want that hanging loop at the end, it's just 10 more chains and then slip stitching back into the 10th. So just use your finger to like hold your place and then chain 10. And then you can just slip stitch back into that 10 chains away from your hook. And that's it. And you can just get your scissor and break off and just weave in the ends. So this is basically what the finished garland looks like. You have these really cool loopies on the end for easy hanging, and you can decorate it however you like and use up all the yarn that you want to use up. So yep, it's pretty quick and easy once you get the hang of it.
I hope you guys had a lot of fun making your heart garlands and starting to decorate your creative spaces and your houses. If you have other requests for Valentine's Day themed projects, leave it in the comments. We have plenty of time, which is awesome. I actually have a thread on Facebook where I've been asking for people to make requests, and we got a lot of requests for a conversation heart scarf, which would probably be similar to the candy heart garland, so I don't know if I'm going to go there or not, but I'll think about it. We've also been getting some requests for like chocolate and truffle related projects. I don't get that excited about crocheting brown things, but if you really want to crochet some brown things, let me know. I'll try to hook it up and try to make it cute. The other odd request that I've gotten more than once is for a character, I guess it's an Adventure Time character called Ricardio, and he's like a heart with arms and legs. And he has a really creepy face, so I don't know if you guys really want a Ricardio tutorial or not, but what I was thinking was maybe we could just do a heart-shaped pillow with arms and legs, and then you can decide what kind of face it has. You can either put Ricardio's face on it or like some cute kawaii face. That is a possibility. But whatever you're interested in, send me your hopes and your wishes and your dreams, and I'll do my very best to make them come true. Put your thinking caps on, let me know what you want, what you need, and I will see you very soon. Bye!